Coalition here for another video for you guys today. Now, it's time to go hard up. Are you ready? I sure am. Nah, I'm just playing. Shouts out to Wet Movie 1 though. But yeah, Coalition here for another video for you guys today. It is Blu-ray Tuesday. Blu-ray Tuesday. I think it's kind of a slow week besides the fact that The Lion King comes out. And I haven't seen The Lion King yet. To be honest, I wasn't keeping up with movies this summer as much as I usually do as far as seeing them in theaters go. I did see quite a few things in theaters, but there was just a lot of things that I would usually go see that I just passed up on. Like, I still haven't gone to see Joker. And that's a movie that I usually would see the first day out. But when I'm not burnt out on superhero movies or comic book movies or any of these things, it's just like they're coming at an alarming rate. I remember back when there wasn't superhero movies like that. You know, I remember when the first X-Men came out and how hype I was, and when the first Spider-Man came out and the lines were wrapped around a theater, like, and it was just crazy. But it's definitely different nowadays. So a lot of things I'm just passing on in the theaters and just watching it when it comes out on Blu-ray, just watching it at home. The Lion King was one of them. Definitely something I wanted to see, but how can I put it? The only live-action remake that I've seen in theaters was Beauty and the Beast. I thought it was a great movie. The live-action remake with Emma Watson or something, I think. Yeah. But anyway, I thought the movie was great. I think that most of the Disney live-action movies are great. But it's almost like, oh, I'm going to spend money in theaters to go watch a movie I've already seen. Simply because the movies are basically exactly the same as the animated movies from back in the day that I grew up with. I just recently watched Aladdin. I thought that it was pretty good. My main problem with Aladdin is Jafar. I just never found Jafar to be a menacing character. I felt like he needed to have his long beard. Should have been played by a skinnier dude. Honestly, I think Snoop Dogg, maybe not acting wise, but as far as looks go, I think Snoop Dogg, if you gave Snoop Dogg like one of those long beards, he would have made a perfect looking Jafar, in my opinion. But I thought Will Smith did a great job as a genie. I mean, he's no Robin Williams, but you can't expect him to be. I felt like he took the character and did a great job with it. I haven't seen this Lion King yet, but I can say that the Lion King, the animated version, which there's an argument online right now as to whether this Lion King is an animated Lion King, which technically I think it is. I mean, what is really live action about it? Now, the Jungle Book, I know it's considered a live action movie, but the Jungle Book did have one live action character. You know, Mowgli was working around a bunch of CGI animals, but I consider that more live action than I would the Lion King, considering the fact that there's not, well, I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming there's no real people in the movie at all. So I think we're in a new day and age in movies where we're gonna have to figure out, like, what are some of these movies? Are they live action or are they animated? You know, there's technically, if you want to put it like that, the MCU is almost animated, considering the fact that it's just, you know, a handful of actors standing in front of a green screen all the time, which it's I'm a superhero movie fan to the death of me, you know, but it gets tiring sometimes with these superhero movies, just knowing that literally they're nowhere in the movie are they ever in a real place. You know what I mean? Like, even when they're just in places that can be a set. You know, you're at a coffee shop right now. Why can't this be a real coffee shop in a real location? No, they're just in front of green screens and everything around them is 100% fake. And that's cool and all, and they do a good job of making it look real and everything like that, but I like live, tangible sets, real sets. I remember, like, The Lord of the Rings and watching the making of The Lord of the Rings and seeing how much work they put into the actual sets. That's what I like. I like sets and locations. All that green screen stuff is just getting somewhat tiring at this point. So I can understand where Martin Scorsese is coming from. when he says the things that he says, and other people with their criticisms of it. But I mean, of course, you guys know that I'm a big MCU fan, a big Star Wars fan, and everything like that. But it is getting tiring watching these movies, and just, even as real as they might look, you know, it's just something about it you can't relate to, because the things just don't seem tangible. They don't seem touchable. With the original Star Wars trilogy, everything felt like you could touch it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm putting it the right way, but it felt like you could reach in the screen and touch it and grab it, and those things are physically there. You know, whether it's the Star Destroyer walls or, you know, tables, anything. Everything felt like it was actually there, and you can grab it and touch it and pick it up, you know? Whereas in new movies, everything's just computer. Like, it's just, you know, and as real as it might look, something about it in my mind, I don't know about how you guys work, how your mind's set up, but something about it still is just unrelatable at certain points. So that sometimes takes me out of movies. Like, I feel like there's sometimes in movies where you're just standing in front of a bunch of trees, or you're just standing in a desert. Can you just take them on set or a location and film this shot instead of having it completely CGI? Like, these movies, like the MCU, is basically all filmed in Atlanta, like a few hours away from me, in a big warehouse. And it's crazy because a movie like Endgame or Infinity War, some of the biggest movies of all time, there's so much crazy stuff going on, but really they're just all in a warehouse making this movie. I don't even know if they stepped foot outside for even 10% of the film. But I'm not trying to rant about that. I'm just saying I like physical sets and locations. But yeah, I have not seen this new Lion King. I feel like I'm always saying this, but I've heard I've seen the negative reviews. I've heard people's gripes with the film. Of course, like I always say, I will hold judgment for when I actually see the film. Fingers crossed that it's going to be good. I know that if it's anything like the original, then there's no way that I would totally dislike the movie, but I don't think that I'll connect with it like I do the original, which that's a lot to ask anyway. But let me know down in the comments below, what Blu-rays are you picking up today? What movies are you hunting? Is there any VHS tapes or old out-of-print DVDs? Like, just let me know what you're looking for down in the comments below, and I'll check in with you guys once I get to the store. And here we are at Best Buy. Let's see if they still have any Steelbooks in here. Yeah, well, I just went to look at a camera and set the whole alarm system off in here, so I'm gonna do it.
Alright, bye guys, take care. Hey, what's up? How you doing? You good? It's good to see you, man. It's good. Cool. Alright. Okay, so how do you present it? Eric? E-R-I-C? Okay. A grade? Sure. Yeah, or gold would work, or red would probably, but yeah, no, they should all work. We'll want to make sure it's good too. Okay, so E-R-I-C, right? What else you said? I sure will. You too, man. Thanks for stopping by.
I can't get much footage nowhere today because everywhere seems to be blasting music. So I think I'll just talk a bunch of nonsense over it the whole time. I forgot that Charlie's Angels actually released today on Blu-ray, and I think 4K as well. But do not quote me on that. Looking over here, I don't see anything cool. I need to get all these Pixar 4Ks because they look awesome all sitting together with the artwork. I thought Ma was a pretty fun film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Shaft. Didn't care for it yesterday. Was pretty good, but I mean, it wasn't anything super special like I thought it would be. Booksmart was funny, but highly overrated. People gave it way too much credit. It's nowhere near as funny as Superbad or anything like that. This is an amazing movie. Detective Pikachu, I thought that was pretty good as well. Rocket Man, honestly, I got the Steelbook. Never even finished the movie. I kind of just was over it. I'm actually really tempted to get these Goosebumps DVDs. Well, I usually enjoy movies like Stuber, but I don't know. Something about this movie just wasn't doing it for me. I love the films where, you know, like a person's usually supposed to get to a certain destination, and along that trip or along that ride for them to get to that destination, craziness and hijinks ensue, you know, like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, things like that. Or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles definitely set the standard for those type of films. But yeah, I usually like those type of films. Wild, zany films, like I said, where a person's supposed to get from point A to point B, and they usually encounter a bunch of crazy people along the way in crazy situations, kind of like a Harold and Kumar, you know, things like that. I always really enjoy those movies. This one, not so much so. I don't think I cracked a smile or a giggle or definitely no audible laughs. I didn't even laugh in my head, I don't think, at any point in this movie. For the most part, it was pretty bland. I didn't really find anything funny about it. The action was okay. There was a few cool action scenes, definitely. But Batista wasn't doing it for me, and neither was Kumal, or however you pronounce his name. Which, I actually liked him in the other movies that I've seen with him, except for the new Men in Black. I didn't think they really gave his character much to do in that one. But yeah, this is definitely a very forgettable film. Nothing, I honestly can't remember what happened in it. I just watched it last night, and I can't really tell you anything about it other than the fact that I thought it was kind of bland. I mean, a movie like this I felt like has potential. I think Dave Bautista's pretty good, and I think the other guy's pretty good as well, and he's usually funny as well. But everything, all the lines kind of fell flat for me in this one. And like I said, yeah, just overall, it just was not that great of a film. It's not something that I could feel comfortable with, like, suggesting that you watch. I mean, if you want to watch it, go ahead. Usually, you know, I could say, oh, this movie wasn't that great, but it was a little fun watch. You know, that's what I would usually say for a film like this. Like, yeah, it's not going to win an Oscar, but it was a fun watch. But I can't say that this was really a fun watch. This is definitely something that you can pass on and you will not regret. Next up, we have the live-action Lion King. There's a lot of debate going on right now, like we talked about earlier, whether this is considered an animated film or a live-action film. After watching it, I would consider it basically an animated film, maybe different than most of your animated films, but I cannot necessarily consider this a live-action film. I got so many mixed thoughts and opinions on this one. Like, I don't know where to start, and I don't know how to necessarily feel about it. Let's see. I guess we just got to go ahead and address the voice acting. I felt like James Earl Jones with Mufasa, I feel like they should have just took like the original recordings and audio from the 1991 or 1994, from the original Lion King. I feel like they should have took that audio and, you know, placed it in this film instead of having him revoice it. Because, don't get me wrong, he still has a powerful voice, and, you know, you still know, oh, that's James Earl Jones as soon as you hear it. It's still powerful, but it doesn't have some of that spunk that it maybe had, you know, 20 something odd years ago. So I feel like they should have just taken his original, still paid him his money, but you know, used the original voice, you know, from the original movie. But of course, they didn't do that. But I mean, that's not a big gripe with the film. I still think he did a good job, a great job. If I'd never seen the original, I'd be like, oh my god, like who is the voice of that lion? You know what I'm saying? So I can't really complain about it. It's just having the original one play so many times in my life and having the, you know, the lines stuck in my head. It's just, I think they were more powerful back then than how they played out in this movie. Um, I didn't have a problem with the young Simba. I think the young Simba did an amazing job with his voice. Singing was A1. The young Simba did a great job. I'm not sure who actually played that part. But when Simba got older, Donald Glover, of course, took over as the voice. And I'm a big Donald Glover fan. I was super excited when I heard about him voicing, you know, the grown Simba. I like his music. I like him as an actor, as a comedian, his stand-up. Um, but it didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me in this movie. I felt like it was really a really weak voice acting performance. Like it was just called in like he was sleeping on a couch, you know, like woke up groggy still and did it. There was not much emotion and excitement in his voice that I was expecting to get. I don't know if he's done voice acting work before or whatnot, but I do not think that he did a good job in this movie, and it really took me out of the movie. A lot of people had problems with Beyonce. Um, it's not so much that I think Beyonce didn't do a great job in this movie as it is she's just Beyonce. You know, she's one of the most famous people in the world, and her voice is just, you know, I don't know. It's just, I mean, of course you could say it's one of a kind, but it's just like you see a lion and it opens its mouth to talk. It's already weird considering the fact that these lions look so good. These lions look real. The CGI in this film is done amazing. You know, it's amazing how real a lot of these characters look. But then they open up their mouth, it already looks kind of awkward. You know, it already looks kind of awkward when you see them talking because they look so real. They're not cartoony and stuff at all, you know? So when they open their mouth and Beyonce's voice comes out, it's just kind of like jarring. You know, you're like, what? So I don't know if they should have casted her. But I'm not gonna say she did a horrible job at voice acting. It's just it's Beyonce, so it was kind of awkward. I mean, if that makes sense, at least for me. Um, the songs in this movie didn't play out as well as the animated version either. I thought Akuna Matata was probably the best song in the movie. You know, the use of it and how they did that was pretty cool. But I mean, it's nothing like the original, of course. But I think that was all right. But like, Can You Feel the Love Tonight and different things just felt rushed and weird. Like the placings just didn't feel right. And Beyonce's new song that was in the film was just randomly placed in there as well. So I don't know. I don't think it's as horrible as what people are saying, but it didn't really do it for me. There's a lot of times that I thought that I would, you know, that some of the scenes in this film might pull at my heartstrings, maybe get the tear ducts flowing a little, for nostalgia purposes and stuff, but definitely not. I didn't feel emotionally connected or involved with these characters at all. I felt like Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen did a very good job at Timon and Pumbaa. I think they both did a great job at Timon and Pumbaa. Um, I'm not sure who played Scar right now, but I felt like he did a good job as well. But other than that, man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm really torn on it because I feel like if I've not ever seen the original Lion King and this was just an original movie that came out, I feel like that I could say that it was a decent film. But because I've seen the original, it's just like, you know, I really don't know what to say about it. Now, when it comes to the live action remakes, I liked Beauty and the Beast. I liked Aladdin. Didn't care for Dumbo. But I mean, there's a couple of live action remakes that I really, really thought were very enjoyable, different, exactly the same in a different way, but also enjoyable. This not so much though. So I definitely wouldn't rank it up there with Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin. But it's worth the watch. I can say that it's worth the watch so you can form your own opinion about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And as always, you have a good day, YouTube.